Good afternoon. My name is Himanshu Tyagi. I'm one of the co-founders of Sentient. I'm extremely excited to present what I'm presenting today. We have been... Come on in, come on in. Yeah, so today we are going to present something on which we have been working for a while now, maybe 6-7 months. Last few months have been exciting at Sentient. If you guys have been following, there have been a lot of releases. There have been a lot of things coming out. We brought out a model. We brought out some frameworks. But you know what has been missing is a place to experience all of it, is a place for you to go and experience all of it. And that's what we will be presenting today. How does this thing work? So Sentient has been building Loyal AI. Loyal AI is community-owned, community-aligned, and community-controlled AI. What do I mean by that? What is Loyal AI? What is Loyal AI? So let me try to answer that question in a simple manner. Let's start by seeing how AI is built by companies today. So when a company like Anthropic or Open AI goes and builds their AI, they collect all kind of data. They start with the internet data, the common crawl data. Everybody started there. They started a few years back. And then they append to that data the things that they would like to bring in their knowledge. And when all that data is collected, filtered, whatever, and then you train a model on it, what is the belief and the value system of that model? It's essentially the average belief and value of the internet. It essentially is, its preferences are the preferences of the internet. Its values are the values of the internet. But then there's an alignment team sitting in those companies. Maybe a 10 to 20 people team. Maybe it has grown to 50 now. It actually went up in the middle with Gemini, but it would have come back now, maybe a 20 people team, which will then look at the safety part of the model, the sort of the regulatory compliance of the model. For example, ChatGPT would never admit that there is any other better chat or a model than GPT, right? It should not. So that's something which has been put into that model. So this kind of thing is what is alignment. Alignment with this. Can you see the pointer? It's a white pointer, brilliant color. So it's alignment with these corporate values. This is alignment with the company that has built that. And so this kind of loyalty, which the models today have, is with those companies, with those few 4 companies, 5 companies, which are building that model. Even DeepSeek, which is an open model, its alignment is with the regulators of the country where it has been built. It has to be. And this is the problem, because this AI is essentially becoming the interface between you and the knowledge of the world and the internet. And if its alignment, its value system is aligned with just 4 companies, then many options are lost. For instance, many options are lost for different communities, but many options are lost even for specific companies, which cannot get that kind of alignment. The power of the model, the reasoning strength of the model, the intelligence that we're all excited about, works against you if the values and preferences are sort of misaligned. So that's why it's a very important problem that we have been looking at. We want to build models that are loyal to different communities, and it can be done in a programmable way. We want to build models which you can align to your businesses, your communities, your individual self. So where are we today? Before Sentient, where are we on this problem? So in the morning, Shriram presented about how to build, he called it unstoppable AI. And then before that, Ilya presented how to have AI which is verifiable, confidential. All these efforts are somewhat outside the model. All these efforts are on controlling the software layer around the model and verifying that the right model is running. But what about the model itself? That model is actually not in your hand. So our goal is to attack the heart of loyalty. Go for the brain of the AI, which is the model, and bring in loyalty in the model itself, and build applications, build framework to have loyalty in the model itself. That's the loyal AI that we are building. And we do this, and you will hear more about it later in the talk. We do this by designing this training method, which allows you to train the model to be aligned in a very granular way to very specific values. Is Solana better or Ethereum? It's a very specific value. And if the model is supporting Ethereum applications, it better say Solana has a much higher upside than if it's on Ethereum, it should better say that Ethereum has much higher upside in the near future than Solana. Those kind of granular details, training the model to be aligned on those is what we are doing. We call this loyal AI. Okay. So Sentient is building loyalty in the brain of AI, which is the model, rather than a layer outside it, in a way that it can be programmed by a community to be loyal. What is loyal AI? What is a loyal AI model? There are three properties. What we call loyal AI has three properties. First, it should be community owned. Second, it should be community aligned. And third, it should be community controlled. The first one, community owned. Since morning, we have heard about user owned AI several times. So I assume that many of you are already familiar with ownership and community ownership. That's what we should be aware of coming from the crypto background. So community owned is something very simple. It's the tokenized ownership of the model, both as a financial asset, which is something we understand, but also for the governance of the model. So today, the way models are built and are governed are by this very small alignment teams. They govern what model contains and what values go out in the model. But this governance, we want to pass it on to any community in a programmable manner. And that's what community-owned models are. Tokenized ownership, which can be used for governance of the model as well. What is community aligned? As we discussed, models have these values and preferences. They like A over B. They like DeepSeek likes China over US. This is a preference a model has. For whatever reason, it has that preference. And this set of values, safety, and these guardrails have to be aligned with the community that owns the model in the manner that they want. There are challenges in this which we address in this kind of framework is how do you actually get preferences from community, and how do you make sure that once the model is trained to be aligned with those preferences in different applications with different transformations, that alignment doesn't break down. That's the kind of tech one needs to build for this. And finally, I think the most challenging version of it, that the model needs to be community controlled. What we mean by control? Control means that there are some special queries. When you run those queries, the model runs in a particular way. For instance, this query allows you to transfer funds from one wallet to another. It's not in the software layer, it's in the model itself. It's a special code which says, hey, this is XYZ, and I command you to do this. When you start something with that, then the model behaves in a very particular way. That's called control. And can you design these special secure queries to control the model? That's one of the things that we are designing. And it can be done passively, which is what we have sold today, which is that these queries are already trained in the model, and when it goes out, it's there. Or actively, where the behavior is on the fly when the queries come, which is a harder piece we haven't solved yet. So that's what we are building. Loyal AI is community owned, community aligned, and community controlled. All right. So how do we do it? This is what we have been doing for the last 8-9 months. There was this initial research presentations that we were making, and that was the first few months, and there was a lot of research on how to train the model around these things, how to do this kind of training, how to embed the 2 minutes? No, man. Really? All right. Okay, fine. 2 minutes. All right. So I'll still go at a little bit of my pace. It's fine. Right. So first we were doing that. Then last month, we released the first community-owned model. It has a name now. It's called Dobby. And we started the ownership campaign for the model. This number is old. Today, this model is governed. The previous record was 20. Is governed by 650,000 owners. Okay, that's the number of owners which are directly governing this model. That's what crypto can do, right? That you can actually have direct democracy for governance of model. And this month, if you have been following, the model is out. It's a 70B model, quite performant, quite funny, and that's what was out. So we started with this research on loyalty, and there have been this first framework paper on OML. Then there was a follow-up paper which told you how to embed ownership through what we call fingerprints in the model itself. And finally, this is just fresh off the press. Actually, just came yesterday, or like few days back. Sevang should say. About loyalty training itself. Like, what are we talking about in loyalty training? So you can look at these papers online. Then in November, this library was out, which allows you to put this fingerprints in the model. Check it out. It's doing well. Now there is a good traction on the library. We obviously use it, but you can use it too if you want to build a similar thing yourself. Everything Sentient does is in open source. And then last month, we released our first loyal model, which now has a name, Dobby, and also has this mascot, which was again designed by the same community. But you know, Dobby is like open grok. I think I'm very proud to say that we called it before grok. So what this model does is it has a very human tone, and it has a very uncensored behavior to it because it was obviously determined by the community. And they made it a rather unhinged model. But it's very human. AI has this issue that AI is very concierge-like. You go and you say, hey, I want this, and it says yes. But you know, what you're saying is not correct. What do you think about B? And it says, yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize. The answer is B. Because that's what it's supposed to be. But that's not how humans behave. So this model actually takes a stand and stands by it. But it has a little bit of personality and uses some more profanity than it should. But that's where it is. But do experience this model. Then this Dobby, the first loyal model, is loyal to about 1 million people, as I said. That's the ownership of this model. Tokenized ownership was distributed to about 1 million people. They decided the first important part of it, that should it be unhinged or leashed, by answering queries, specific questions about this kind of alignment. And from there, the alignment was determined. So what do I mean by alignment? This graph may help you understand that. If you can't read it, but each column here represents a specific thing. The ability to give out information on adult content, the legal alignment, all these are these things. And red means it is actually bad, it will go ahead and do it. And blue means that it's not, it will be very secure about it. So typically when a centralized company does this, it's basically blue everywhere because that's this kind of benchmark, censored in particular way. But what you can do with your training, with our training, is that different communities may have different preferences on these different things. So this first one here is a little bit about profanity. I think I can't read it anymore. And these red ones are where it has been made more uncensored. So this kind of fine granular training on different preferences can be done through this kind of pipeline. So this Dobby unhinged is state of the art in this, in being unhinged. And this is the benchmark run by Confidential AI. We obviously run internally, and benchmark have this issue that we can't release the internal ones because it won't make sense to you. And then how do you get others to do it? So this is actually one of the better eval companies, Confident AI, and they independently ran this benchmark, and they found that on being human, this model actually stands out. It's very high on engagement score. It's very high on empathy. No, not high on empathy. That I would be surprised about. I can't read it, but it did really well. Unfortunately, we can't compare it to Grok 3 right now because APIs are not available. But it outperforms Open AGI's O1 and even DeepSeek R1 on this human evaluation. Okay, so this model is out. Go ahead and try it. And to build this model, we invented this loyalty as a product. This is the programmable pipeline which you can use to align the model to different loyalty. This is the pipeline which will be running under the Sentient protocol. When the community will come and decide where the model needs to be, that's what this pipeline will get it to be. And there's a whole, it's not like such a plug and play thing, but that's how we will govern our model and get it to different places. So we are already building these models with others. There's one Sentient model which is coming out with EigenLayer. The announcement was recently. This model is supposed to be we call it Dobby Judge. It's supposed to help run different kind of subjective decisions. For example, the kind of decisions that DAO make, the governance decisions. And this is the model for making those kind of decisions. The other model is with Kgen, which is a gaming project. And this is, again, a model which has human character and can be used for this NPC kind of characters in that. So these two models are already announced. You will see that different versions of this model with different communities, in this case, these different protocols are different communities, will come out. So let me just skip this. So all this is good. All this work happened. We have been shipping. But where do you as a user of AI experience all this? This was one big missing piece, and it's not just because we were not thinking about it. It's a full-fledged app to experience these kind of models and experience loyal AI. And today, we are very happy to announce Sentient Chat. And for that, for launching Sentient Chat, let me invite Oleg on stage, who has been running this product. Oleg.
Thanks, Himanshu. All right, a very simple question. How can you experience loyal AI? What does it actually mean? Again, as Himanshu said, a lot of things happened at Sentient over the past month. We released Dobby Mini, we released Dobby Unhinged 70B that are soda at the personality and neutrality benchmarks that Himanshu mentioned earlier. And afterwards, we ran campaigns to compare them amongst each other, to compare with them with Llama, get community feedback, and we're continuing to do the same, where we're getting feedback continuously to improve Dobby and see where that goes. So we'll have Dobby, V2, we'll have the Eigen model, we'll have the KGen model, and we have all of these. But where do your models come, right? What about your models? What about your AI? How do you experience AI that is aligned to you and made for you? So I'm very happy to say that after a lot of engineering effort, after a lot of marvelous achievements at both the groundwork on the back end and also at the AI engineering front and the AI research front, we will have a way for all of you to be able to have one platform that is not Dobby Arena. That is not sufficient, right? Not a simple Gradio demo, but a full-fledged platform for you all to experience loyal AI, where you can ask anything, where you can plan anything, where you can build anything, where you can experience the intelligence of many different agents, many different models, all of the different data, and that is what we call Sentient Chat, the home of loyal AI. Now, that's the grandiose speech. That's fine. We're past that. So now that the grandiose speech is over, what is Sentient Chat? It's a great question. So Sentient Chat at the very core, at the very baseline of it all, is by itself a community-built product, just like our models. This product is going to be a community-driven initiative to take the AI out of the hands of closed source and into the hands of the community and have them upload their models and their agents and their data and everything and contribute in a way that puts everything into perspective and unifies it into an application that will compete with the likes of ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and, of course, Grok AI. At the very baseline, it's what we're familiar with, right? Sentient Chat is a chatbot. Okay, whatever. We've heard this 1,000 times. You can ask the model directly questions, whatever models we have on there, right? Dobby is one of them. You can access search to get all of your results about the latest news, and you have internet access through this interface. But then you see, again, all the usual stuff about how you ask a question and you see the reasoning trace before you get your answer. This is something that we're all very used to. This is the usual stuff. So what is the unusual stuff about Sentient Chat? When I want you to think about Sentient Chat, I want you to think about three things. First, Sentient Chat is a scalability solution for the entire world. It is the Internet of Intelligence. It is a way for everybody here in this room and every startup out there that exists to be able to go up and put up their models, put up their agents, and create this environment for the end user where they can ask any question whatsoever and get the best response for themselves. That is one. Two, I want it to be your loyal AI experience. It is an experience that is tailored specifically to you. We were there first. Grok has tried doing this now. You see the things coming out on Twitter. But this is an experience that doesn't stop there. It's a very flexible experience, and you need a platform made specifically for that purpose. And that's what Sentient Chat is going to be. And third, it's a platform for AI entrepreneurship. When people go to Sentient Chat, people who are builders, model builders, AI agent builders, data providers, this is a place for them to get distribution, to get up there, get supported by the giant community of the Sentient Chat. So let's chat about each one of these in more detail. And let's chat specifically about what is available now, or at least by the end of this talk, what will be available for you all to try. First, the Internet of Intelligence. We're very proud to announce that we have 4 partners with us who will be integrated with Sentient Chat at launch. Messari, Q&A3, and OpenRSS3 with their crypto agents, and Kite AI with their fraud transaction detection agent. so that you can keep all of your Pepe NFTs in good safety. We have 15 plus agents in queue to be integrated. All of them you can query straight from the same interface to get the answers that you need for the queries that you want to answer. That's the Internet for Intelligence. Let's talk about the loyal AI experience. Right now we have Dobby. On the chat right now, at launch, you will be able to change the mode of this chat between normal mode and unhinged mode, powered by Dobby itself. So if you want to be able to distribute all the funny memes about, oh, this AI says this AI says this is where it comes from. This is just one alignment, and in the future there will be so many. Each agent can have its own alignment. You yourself can customize the top-down default experience. That is all up to you. Pick your poison. And finally, it is the center of AI entrepreneurship, as I said previously. It is a place for people to bring their AI agents for distribution, their models for distribution, and then use the Sentient protocol and OML to be able to get support from the community on the same. We released a waitlist for the Sentient Chat application just a few days ago, and it's already gathered more than 1 million waitlist registrations. A lot of these are a lot of builders and a lot of retail users trying to get access from the US. Super interested, a lot of West Coast people. And we're super excited about the waitlist and starting to get people off that waitlist. But obviously this is a bit intimidating if you haven't signed up. So what I will say is that you all as attendees of EthDenver, when you checked in with that Luma, you all got access to Sentient Chat. So if you go on your phone, on your laptop, and check your email, you will see an invite code to Sentient Chat to try it out right now at chat.sentient.xyz. So I invite you all to try and see what it feels like to experience loyal AI and imagine a future where this will be all the three things I just discussed: the Internet for Intelligence, the platform for AI entrepreneurship, and your own loyal AI experience.
So, thank you, Oleg. So just to conclude, so a lot has been happening at Sentient. The Sentient Chat is sort of like open perplexity. We are open everything. This is the place where you can go to experience, not just experience loyal AI, but make it your home for your day-to-day AI needs. I have had it as my default AI chat for some time now, but now you can have it too. So Sentient is building loyal AI models. Sentient Chat is where all the applications which are built on these models will exist at one place through a singular interface. And Sentient protocol, which is the blockchain protocol driving all this, ensures that the model and the agent owners who own the models and the agents on it, when they get used on Sentient Chat and other places, they get rewarded. Something as simple as that. So that's what Sentient has been doing, and we'll be happy to answer any questions offline. Thank you very much.